What's up guys, Matt back again, and this is the Ichiban Kuji Dragon Ball EX Fierce Men of the Turtle Hermit School, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing the entire set. Before we dive into the video, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell, like the video, comment your thoughts down below for us to discuss, follow me on my socials, and consider becoming a YouTube member to enter into our monthly giveaways and Discord server so our community can help you on your Dragon Ball figure collecting journey. It's hard to have an OG Dragon Ball Ichiban Kuji without Goku being included. I will say that this was our second OG Dragon Ball Kuji, so seeing Kid Goku again so soon and basically putting him in the same outfit as the last one is a little uninspired. I understand he's on the Kintoon, but it feels a bit lame, especially considering that this is a Turtle Hermit Kuji focused on students of the martial arts school. We could have maybe seen Goku and Krillin in their suits, or maybe when they were training with Roshi in their casual clothes instead. Either way, this figure is actually just a variant of the last one prize in the set, and not directly based on anything in particular. His likeness is great and looks very true to the source. Goku looks incredibly cute, and I love how they made his hair sculpt blowing back in the wind from flying. I think the entire sculpt is perfect, and I love the details on the Kintoon cloud. This figure does have some shading on his gi, but it's very subtle. It would have been nice to see some on his cloud at the very least. Now, this figure, along with a majority of this set, seems to have been sized up in scale from previous Master Release figures of the past. This was a noticeable difference throughout 2023, so I'm still unsure if this was just Bandai increasing the overall size of their Master Release figures moving forward, or just something they decided to do randomly. I guess time will tell. He's a good sized figure, but keep in mind that he does scale a bit bigger compared to past Master Release figures. I like this Goku a lot, but I think he's the inferior version in this set. The legendary pervert and martial artist Master Roshi returns to Master Release. Roshi was a very prominent character throughout the original Dragon Ball and one of the first we got to meet in the series. He not only taught Goku, Krillin, and Yamcha the fundamentals of martial arts, but he gave them knowledge and wisdom to carry out throughout their lives. Of course, all of that was in the midst of their hijinks. The figure is based on the moment Roshi meets back up with the gang in order to put out the fire on Mount Frypan. It's a wonderful reference and something I missed the first time I reviewed this figure. Roshi had gotten a Master Release in Strong Chains just about 3 years before this release. In that figure, he was an E-moving that also gave him the Jackie Chun head. This figure depicts him in what I would argue to be his most iconic look from the franchise. They also gave him his original black glasses before they were updated to the green tinted ones with red frames. Roshi's likeness was done well by adding those little stars originally seen on the shades. His face also looks great as he can remove his glasses easily. You can see all the wrinkles and details along his head. The sculpt of the figure is very detailed, especially on his back with his big turtle hermit shell. They added a ton of textures that also feel really good. The figure has lots of bright paint and a lot of shading on his shell and gi. I wish there was a bit more shading and paint added, but I think he looks pretty good as is. This Roshi has a similar scaling note as Goku, where he is much bigger than his previous Master release. This makes it hard for people to pair him with the previous version, but I do think I like this size for Roshi moving forward, as the original did always strike me as a bit too small. It's hard for me to choose which Roshi I prefer between this and the Strong Chains version, but I really do love and appreciate this one. The man who discovered and raised Goku on Earth finally got a Master Release. Grandpa Son Gohan. Gohan only really appears once in the manga during his fight with Goku when visiting Earth for a day, which is easily one of my favorite fights and moments in the series. Goku getting emotional just really gets me. Gohan rightfully receives his very first and only Masterly so far, and he's an E-moving figure that shows off his fox mask and regular face. He also has a halo, and I own 2 of these Gohans, so I prefer to have the halo off of one of mine to represent him when he was alive. Gohan is also based on the moment he says hello to Goku before their fight, which is a great reference. Gohan's likeness is perfect. Much like Roshi, the wrinkles on his face are detailed nicely, as well as his mustache. His fox mask also looks perfect with great texturing on it. Unfortunately, while the figure has accurate and bright colors on it, it has no shading at all. This is a bit disappointing, but not a deal breaker for the overall figure, since I guess Gohan is a simple character from a simpler time. Not to repeat myself again, but this figure also scales a lot bigger than most. But I do like the overall size of him. I'll be paying close attention to figures in 2025 to see if the larger scaled figure trend continues. I really love this Gohan figure, and even though he doesn't have any shading, he's still awesome, especially because he's an E-moving. I highly recommend him if you're a Dragon Ball enthusiast. A surprising addition to this set comes in the form of Ox King. Ox King wasn't a prominent character in the franchise, but he was a former Turtle Hermit student under Master Roshi. He was even stronger than Goku during their first encounter, but he eventually retired after Roshi confronted him about his greed and bloodlust. The figure itself is based on when Ox King realizes Goku knows who Roshi is and asks him to help put out his castle's fire. While Ox King isn't a big character in the show, this is his first and only Masterlies. I don't think we'll get another one anytime soon, but I do love the fun inclusion in this set. Bandai absolutely nailed his likeness. His design was very different in his original appearance when compared to Z. He's got those goggles hooked to his helmet, a feather on his head, and his boxy face with his bushy beard. The figure doesn't have a lot in the way of texturing, which makes him look kind of smooth. His texturing is mostly seen on his beard and the feather on his head. I do really love the sculpt as they added every single detail on his armor and cape. The figure also has the best paint and shading in the set, with notable shading on his outfit and cape. They also added some metallic glossy paint for his gold plates. The one area I think needed some improvement is his size and scale. The figure is certainly big, and I understand that if he wasn't crouched down, he'd probably reach about 11 inches in height. However, Ox King looks a lot bigger in the manga during the scene this figure is based on, so I think they could have added at least 2 inches to his crouched height. It's funny to think that the biggest figure in this set is the only one that didn't turn out too big. I think this Ox King is awesome, and while I don't think most collectors are dying to have him, I think he's a much appreciated release from last year. We have arrived to our last one prize, and I gotta say that this is my favorite Kid Goku figure of all time. Clearly, Goku is a variation of Prize A, but I would argue that Prize A is the variation of this figure, as this one is much closer to the source it's based on. Toriyama's original illustration had Goku in his original blue gi while looking to the side, which this figure captures perfectly. It also has more notable shading on its gi, and it looks like they added a little bit of shading on his skin too. Everything else about the figure is virtually the same as Prize A. While he's not the most exciting addition to Masterlies, it is our first Goku in his blue gi and a wonderful homage to Toriyama's illustration. I think this is the figure I'll always think of first whenever I want to recommend a Kid Goku figure. He may even be my favorite figure in this whole set. So those are my thoughts on Ichiban Kuji, Dragon Ball EX, Fierce Men of the Turtle Hermit School. I think this set is a little slept on. A lot of these OG Dragon Ball sets are kind of slept on, but even though it is missing some notable characters from the Turtle Hermit School like Krillin or Yamcha, I do think it's really fun to see a traditional Master Roshi, Gohan, and Ox King included in this set. But those are my thoughts, guys. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you made it this far in the video, please subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a like. Really helps out the channel. If you want to go even further beyond and support the channel even further beyond, you can become a YouTube member starting at $3, which gives you permanent access to our growing Discord community full of awesome people. We do buy, sell, trade, we discuss and debate figures, we talk Dragon Ball, we do watch parties, games, all this great stuff. So hop on in the fun. And if you want to take part in our monthly giveaway where $10 members can win a Crane figure, $15 members can win a Kuji figure, and our $20 members can win an entire Ichiban Kuji set, please go ahead and jump in on the fun. But I think that's all I got for you guys today. Until the next video, guys, I will see you all later.